dark back in that corner.
And going live. Okay, we're here.
Okay. Hey, everyone, and welcome to episode 68 of the Custom Apparel Startups podcast. My name is Mark Stevenson from Coldesi.
And this is Mark Vila from Coleman & Company. And today we have a great episode. It's part of our trilogy.
Yes.
Right? Another trilogy. We're talking about re-upselling, and that is making the most of your current customers. So how to take your current customers that have already done business with you.
Yep.
And sell to them again, but not always just the same thing, but sometimes something different.
Yeah, make more money with every sale. That's kind of the goal. But first of all, I have to tell you, we're in a new place. Part of our experiment, not only with video, but with trying different locations, see what works best and works great. So we are at our Coldesi Dale Mabry campus showroom, where we house Digital Heat FX and the Brush and Bake and cut and press vinyl systems and the Spangle Elite from the Coleman & Company side of the business. So please be inspired by everything that you see behind us as we go through the topics of the podcast. As a matter of fact, on Facebook, let us know if you're interested in any of these shirts or the technology behind it. So.
Yeah, and we're happy to talk about them. And then maybe even when the podcast is done, if we still have some Q&A going on, we can chat about some of that stuff too.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So I guess I'll start us off a little bit on what we're talking about here. So we mentioned that we're re-upselling. So what's the story here? The story is that you've got a current customer who's done business with you before, or they just finished a job, right? First time you bought with them. And in the beginning, if you listen to our last podcast, you might have upsold them something. So you might have upsold them from the generic kind of branded shirt into maybe like a Nike brand or something.
You
like
did
that.
Upsell them because you did listen to the last podcast, right? It's been 2 or 3 weeks, so definitely you should have listened to that because what we're trying to do with both of these is to help you take that person that's in front of you and make a few extra dollars every time it happens, so you'll be more profitable.
Yes, exactly. So now you've sold them an initial job and you've upsold them. So you sold them a better shirt or an extra decorated spot or whatever it is. And now you're to the point where we want to upsell that customer again. We want to be able to provide them an additional service that they may not have directly come to you for. That business is easy. It's easy to pick up the phone and take an order. It's a challenge to inspire your customer to do something new with you.
I think that's a great thing to say out loud too, is you're inspiring your customer to take an additional action, to make an additional purchase. There's really no selling. We used to avoid, and we said this in the last podcast, we used to avoid the S word because people don't think of themselves as salespeople. They don't like the word sell or the idea that they're going to put one over on somebody and try to sell them something they don't need. In the last podcast, we talked at length about the idea of becoming the expert, of offering something that your customer may not have thought of, and just making sure that they know everything that you do so they can purchase more from you. You can make more money.
Yeah.
During this one, we're talking about how easy it should be to take that customer that already trusts you, that you've already done business with, and add even more to the next sale.
Yeah, and there's 2 things that people always like to get.
Yep.
Right? Is like a meal and some clothes. Right? If you give somebody a free hat or you give somebody a free sandwich, they're incredibly happy.
That was very specific. A free sandwich.
Yeah, a free sandwich or a free slice of pizza or a free hat or a free... People love that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's proven time and time again that what do companies often do if you do a lot of business with them? They buy you lunch.
Yes.
It's not worth a lot. It's a few dollars a person.
But it's nice.
But it's really nice and it feels good.
Yeah.
And the same thing, they will when you go to a game or a concert, they throw out the free T-shirt or a free hat. People love it. So we're in an industry that people naturally love to receive these things. So when you re-upsell to them and they get new apparel, they're going to be happy whether they paid for it or got it for free. People love new clothes and they love food.
And that brings us to kind of upselling strategies. By the way, we're going to go through 5 strategies to help you understand the best ways that you might be able to upsell your customers so you can make more the next time they buy from you. And that first one that Mark just started to describe is what we call the freebie. And there are a couple of different kinds of freebies that we're going to go through. So this is one where you might want to make a few notes because I think it's one of the most effective strategies. We're putting it right up at the top.
All right, and I'm by the way, I'm here with my mobile devices and laptop because I'm monitoring. Maybe one day we'll have an engineer.
An engineer.
Yeah, that sits back there. But for now, I'm kind of a host / engineer.
With the cap. And
with the cap and the stripes.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Yeah. We'll just have to train him how to do this.
So you're texting and
I'm texting and I'm interacting and I'm monitoring. So I'm going to use the mobile device in here. So every once in a while when you chat, I'm going to pick up and I'm going to monitor some things.
He ignores me. It's okay.
No, I've heard everything.
So the freebie the first kind of freebie that we're going to talk about is literally the freebie. It's when and we've talked about this as a great strategy in other podcasts, is when you have a customer place an order with you. If it's for printed T-shirts and you sell embroidery, then you put an embroidered cap in there. If it's for an embroidered polo, you only do embroidery. Maybe you add one polo with another position on the sleeve. The idea of this freebie is to present the customer with something extra when they get the order, and that way it will inspire them to order next time. So you're using the freebie so they'll know other things that you do. Mm-hmm. They'll feel like they're being more appreciated when you do that. Especially, if you've got a coach that you're doing a big order for, maybe the coach gets a free hat along with all of the shirts or the jackets that they ordered, and everybody else is going to see that. They're all going to want the hat, and the next time that the customer places the order, you may pick up that extra business.
Yes, or they may just call in to say, hey, I got the free cap, thank you. And the assistant coaches saw it. They love them.
Yeah.
And they were mad at me that why didn't I get them one?
Yeah.
So how can I get some more of these hats? Oh, great. Yeah, actually, I can make you some of those. They cost X amount of dollars a piece.
Yeah, we actually had a couple of customers chime in. When we were setting this podcast up, we asked a few people on the CAS group, what they would do to upsell. And one of them made, added $750 in caps to a T-shirt order. So somebody came in for T-shirts, offered them the caps, $750 later. That'll work just as well if you forgot to talk to them about caps, but you included in the box. You've got a win there.
And in the last episode, we talked about upselling to the customer. So what you did was you offered them the cap, and they respectfully declined. They said, no, it's not in the budget, whatever it might be. But you still provide the freebie because you know that in providing that free sample there and the offer to buy it later, that they're probably going to really like it. And even though they didn't have the budget now, this payday to do that, when they're wearing that cap and other parents or assistant coaches or whatever might see that, they're going to want them as well. So even though they said no now, that doesn't mean that the freebie is not going to make another sale tomorrow or in the next week.
Right.
Especially as money flows through and time flows.
And so that's a great time where you can take the opportunity that you would normally not think of maybe as marketing. Mm-hmm. But it adds, if you go back and listen to our podcast on customer experience, it adds a lot of extra to that relationship that you've got. So the freebie, the pure freebie, is just somebody places an order with you and you put a gift that makes sense for your business, relates to your business, and that a customer can purchase later on if they're interested when you send out or when you deliver the package. The second freebie is kind of doing that when they don't place an order. Mark?
Yes. I'm engineering.
I know. No. That's why I figured
but anyway, yes. When we're talking about the other one is, they didn't place an order. You want to give them a freebie, right? We're talking about the second type of freebie. And the second type of freebie is when you're actually just sending them something in between orders, not related to the current order. This could be if you just started doing embroidery.
Yes.
Right? You just started to offer glitter vinyl. Maybe you
haven't
done it before.
You've got some kind of a new technology.
You've got a new technology or a new idea or
a new shirt type.
A new cap. You received Sanmar's little catalog, and it said our 2018, spring items,
yes,
etc. And with that, you said, you know what, I would like to check this cap out. I'd like to try to offer it. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
It looks comfortable. You order one, you do like it, you sew it out, it sews out beautifully, and you say, I think my customers should get this. I think
Yeah.
they should buy it. So what do? You maybe sew out, pick your few customers, and I'll give you a tip, just the ones that have money.
Yeah.
The ones that place orders,
Yeah.
The ones who are nice, who like you,
Yeah.
the ones who aren't cheapskates. To pick the good customers, the ones who want their business to look good, who want their team to look the best, who have really passionate fans, a school who has an open budget for apparel, whatever it is. You find the good customers and you say, I'm going to take their logo, I'm going to sew it out, I'm going to send them a cap. And then that's another freebie. With that cap, just another little idea you can do with it. Of course, you could say, if you want to buy these, call me.
Sure.
But you could just ask for feedback.
The evaluation thing is very good idea.
Yeah, the evaluation. And with the evaluation, you're actually going to your customer and you're saying, hey, take a look at this cap. It's a brand new one I'm thinking about offering in my line. I'm going to add it to the items that I sell. What do you think about it? When you receive this, if you wouldn't mind putting it on wearing for a bit, and then shoot me an email or give me a call, maybe give me a review on the cap.
Yeah.
So for one, they're going to love that it was free. They're going to love that you asked them for their opinion.
They feel important.
They feel important, and they are important because the answer is important,
yes.
right? So then not only do you like it, but you've proven some of your good customers like it.
Yeah.
And then when they call up, and depending the type of salesperson you are, if you're very direct, so how many would you like to order?
Exactly.
If that's not your style, you could say, well, I thought you would like it. That's why I sent it to you. I'm glad that you did. By the way, they're $17 a piece with your logo.
Yeah.
Minimum order of 5. Whatever that's your business.
Yeah.
And I'd love for you to order some whenever you're ready. So keep it in mind.
Yeah. Or you could just play it, very casual. Like, thank you very much. I really just wanted your opinion. No, don't. I won't even take your order yet. Let me wait till I have some in stock. But this is great on a couple of different levels. And you can do this, by the way, by mail or in person is even better, to go by and drop something off. If you've got a bigger customer that only orders a few times a year, it's also a great way to keep in touch with them in between. You're bringing up your value as somebody that you're checking with them to see the quality of the product and if they would be interested in ordering next time. So that makes you look better. One question that just popped into my head that I know that a lot of you are probably thinking is that sounds expensive and like it's going to take time.
Okay, talk about that then.
So
and then
for
we're
example,
going to move on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so a higher end T-shirt is going to cost me money. A cap is going to cost me money. Well, the reason that we're talking about this strategy in the upselling and re-upselling, making the most of current customers, is because that customer is cheaper for you to deal with. You didn't have to advertise to get that customer a second time. You didn't have to teach them the ordering process. You didn't have to tell them how to set up their graphics. So it's actually a less expensive transaction to inspire them to order again.
Yeah, absolutely. And the bottom line, like we mentioned in the beginning here, is they're going to love it.
Yes.
They're going to love that. They're going to love the freebie.
Yep.
They're going to want to order the freebie. They're going to love the apparel you put in there.
Yep.
Part of the reason they're going to love it is because you're going to pick a good one.
Yeah.
Don't say, I'm going to give them a free cap. Here's the cheapest cap.
I got this 90-cent T-shirt from Gildan in stock.
No, I'm going to put one that I'm going to want them to buy. So let's move on. The next one that we want to talk about is anticipating business.
I really like this idea.
That's why I want you to go with this one.
I really like this idea because, a lot of you out there, we're talking about current customers, and I know that we have relationships with our current customers. Probably a lot of you that are listening to the podcast have been listening for a long time, and you talk to us on Facebook. And we think about you guys when we're doing new podcasts, so that customer experience is really important. People follow us on Facebook. The idea behind anticipating business is for you to get into your customer's business in the same way that you might get into ours. So, for example, if you're dealing with a big electrical contractor, let's say, and you do all of their uniforms. So follow that customer on Facebook, follow that business on Twitter, on Instagram, on wherever you are socially. And the idea is that you'll know what's happening inside that business. So they may have ordered 50 uniforms from you, but you may see on their Facebook page that they've got an announcement where they hired 10 new people because they're expanding. And that's an opportunity for you to reach out for them about 10 new uniforms. You may also see like, oh my God, I didn't realize that they do these team building exercises twice a year. And they all get the same shirts, and they get hats, and they get bags, things like that. You can learn about all of that from their social because you follow them. And then you can approach your contact and say, hey, I was just on your Facebook page. I think that team building exercise is an amazing idea. Can I do some shirts for you?
Yes, and what else you do with that is you notice like it's everything that comes along with anticipating what could happen. So it's not always just the direct like they're doing an event, but they are participating in a 5K for a charity.
Oh, good one.
Now you might not be able to necessarily get the business for that event since it's booked. It might already be done. But what you can do is now you say, hey, you know what I would like to do to help for this? I'd like to provide some free caps for your team, or how about if you buy these caps for this event, I will donate a certain percentage of the profits to your cost.
Love that.
And by the way, since you're participating in this, do you know who's in charge? Because what I would like to do is see if I can help them participate in other events by providing T-shirts or caps or other apparel they might want. So it's also about making connections.
Yeah, I mean, it may be that 5K event is for a cause that you're passionate about too. You didn't realize that your customers were running.
Yep.
So you get to stand behind them. Say, hey, I've never met most of your guys in person. I'd love to come out and say hi, during that. So that's anticipating business by being in your customer's business.
Yes.
So don't just take the order. Participate in their business so you will recognize future opportunities.
Yes, and it will be events that they're doing and certain things like that, but it's also going to be participating in just guessing and what other things might be happening. For example, like spring is coming, right? The sun is going to be out more.
Right.
Do their workers work outside?
Yeah.
Are they allowed to wear caps? If they are, this is a great time to anticipate that their workers might want caps. So if it's a lawn service company, their business is about to pick up because the grass is going to start growing again. They're going to need to trim bushes, all that stuff. So you call them up. Hey, by the way, season's coming. The season's coming up again. I know you're going to be doing some business.
Yep.
Do you need any new shirts? Do you need any new caps? Things like that.
It's rainy season in August, September here in Florida. It rains every day at the same time. If anybody's outside and working, they need a hat. They need a rain poncho.
Yeah.
They might need boots. There are a variety of things that go on to that. And you're right.
Yes.
You're paying attention to what's going on seasonally and in their business so you can get into it and sell them more stuff.
And here's another little trick. You don't always even have to decorate the apparel.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Some of the things are just an item that might not be decorated, but since you're in business and you're in the business of buying things wholesale, learning how to do all that, maybe you're just anticipating that they might need umbrellas.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not going to decorate them, but what you do is, since you kind of know how to source things already, you find a place online where you can buy some umbrellas in bulk. And you buy, you're buying 100 umbrellas. You get them at a really good deal, and you say, hey, by the way, if your team needs umbrellas because they're salespeople and they're dressed very nice, I can go ahead and I can give you customized ones for this price, so I can just get you a good deal on umbrellas, $9 a piece. They'll all match.
Yep.
I love
that.
There's a bunch of little things you could do, but the next thing we'll talk about that we'll talk about is horizontal marketing.
Right.
I know this is another one that you like.
Yeah. So horizontal marketing is really, we've talked about going into a customer's business, right? And looking at everything that's happening and using that to help upsell into that account. Horizontal marketing is going to the person that you deal with in the business and going sideways inside it to look for opportunities. So for example, let's say you're doing shirts for that electrical contractor and you do all of their embroidered polos. So you do all of the uniforms, but they're a pretty big company, do you do all of their marketing materials too? So I'm talking to the purchasing agent that buys uniforms, but I've never talked to anybody in marketing. So what you can do is you can go and talk to that marketing person and say, look, I do all of this for your company already. I'd love to have the opportunity to do more. Can you tell me what kind of apparel that you guys buy? Do you give things away? Do your marketing employees wear something different like they do here at the Cold Essie properties? What other departments can you do business with? And it's kind of the same thing like if you were dealing with a coach.
Yes. And when you're talking about like the horizontal marketing with that, I love that, because what you need to do is you have to think about all of your customers as not just being like working for that like little part of it. So your customers are always more complex than you think, even if they're just a landscaping company.
Yes.
Right? They're just a landscaping company. They're a small business. There's an owner. He's got 3 employees. It's him, his wife, and 3 employees. That's it. And you consider, I can't go any more horizontal in this business. But does your landscaping company, what happens when he has to buy shrubs to put into a house? Does he work in conjunction with a nursery?
Right.
So there's also like horizontal going in this business, because even though he's not big enough to own a nursery and the landscaping company and everything, it's still a very vital part of his business. He goes to that nursery every day. His wife talks to the owner of the nursery every day.
Right. So you are upselling your customer by helping them get you sales.
Yes.
Right? So it's the same thing. I love that idea. I love the idea of you do all the sports uniforms at a high school for a coach, but you've never met the principal. You've never done clothing for the teachers. You don't know anybody at the PTA. So just like that landscaping guy, and just like the the coach, you can go in and say, who else in your business or who else do you know might be interested?
So think about it. So even for really small businesses, because really small businesses, they have connections to other businesses that are almost a part of their business. If that nursery went out of business, it would severely affect them. So they're deeply connected, and small businesses can be much more deeply connected with outside companies. So think about that, and then think about within these organizations, if you're doing just apparel for parents for just one team in, say, like a little league, you have to consider, who's in charge of this?
Yes.
Who can I talk to try to get the whole league? Maybe there is no central leadership in apparel, and and all the kind of fan shirts are a little bit separate. Maybe there is one.
Yeah.
But if you have the opportunity, always go sideways. If you just do the soccer and there's tons of other sports, you got to show up to an event on a Saturday and on Saturdays and Sundays, and you got to walk around and meet other coaches.
So here's a good way to think about this, and the last thing I'll say before we move on from this is that vertical marketing is finding your niche and going after that niche. So if your niche is hairdressers, it's going from one hairdresser's office to the next, one haircutting place to the next, and talking to those people, becoming an expert, offering what you do to them. Horizontal marketing is, once you're inside that business, going after every possible connection of business that there might be inside it. Mm-hmm. So it's going to each one of those hairdressers and saying, are you part of any church organizations that need t-shirts? Are there any other related businesses here do you know the guy who sells you your shampoo? Can I talk to them about shirts? So it's a great way to use your customers to help you make more money. And if you're doing the freebie and if you're inside their business, they will be excited to help you with that part.
Yes, absolutely.
So I would definitely do
especially if you have a good rapport with them, if you're friends with them, if they like doing business with you. I'm going to pause here for a moment and just say that I see that a lot of folks have just come in to watch.
Okay, so they're wondering what the heck's going on.
They're wondering what's going on. So if you're listening to the podcast through iTunes or something like that, and you're listening to the pre-recorded version, I want you to know that we're going to be doing this live. So soon we'll kind of have an announcement and a schedule. We'll nail down some official times. But you're listening to a live recording right now, and you'll be able to participate on Facebook and on YouTube soon. Second, the folks who are watching live right now, we're actually talking about episode 68. This is a Custom Apparel Startups podcast, and we're talking about upselling, re-upselling to current customers. So we've talked about giving some free samples. We've talked about anticipating some business. We've talked about getting more out of the current business you have.
Yes.
And then we're going to move on to the next topic. So listen online to get a recap of that, or watch this video from the beginning when it's done. But next, we'll talk about what else they buy.
Yeah. So why don't you take the lead on this?
Good.
Because
all right.
I think you're good at this.
So what else do they buy? Your customers, that if they own a small business, right, or they're a team that's a sports team, whatever
Yep.
it is, they do something, they're buying custom apparel. So when we're talking about that, what else are your customers buying that's custom that you don't offer?
Right.
So you've got a digital heat effect system, and you print, you do everything printed. But do they buy embroidery? Is that important to them?
Yeah.
You do embroidery, but do they buy T-shirts?
Right.
You do T-shirts and embroidery, but do they buy promotional items like
Keychains,
bags or pens or keychains or mugs? So with that, can really consider two things, I think. One is the technology that you have for equipment.
Yes.
Can it do other things
Yeah.
that
that's
you
good.
haven't learned how to
That's
do yet?
good.
Okay. If it can, reach out to your customers. Hey, by the way, what else? What other promotional items might you buy or considering buying? And just be honest. I'm thinking about ways I can expand my business. You're a business owner too. I know you do the same thing all the time. And I'm considering, what else can I do? And I know that with the technology I have, I can do mugs, or I could do keychains, or I could, you name things. I could do tote bags. Do you buy any of those things ever?
Yeah.
Or what else do you buy that maybe I can consider offering in the future?
Yeah, so I like this for a couple of reasons, not just because it gives you the opportunity to upsell now that we'll talk about, but also because you're back to that, not only being in that customer's business farther, but you're also making them feel good because you're asking them for their input. You're getting a little, their expertise.
Yep.
You want their feedback. So I like that. So you're going to go in and you're going to look at your existing equipment, figure out what you can do that you're not already doing for them, and you're going to see if they have a need.
Yes.
The other thing is just to make that list. Like, let's use that electrical contractor as an example again. So you're doing uniforms for a company, and you've already gone to the marketing people, and you realize that they're also ordering apparel, and the guy that you normally deal with is also part of a club that buys custom hats that you're now doing because you went horizontal with the marketing. Well, now you find out that they also regularly need signage, and they also buy keychains. They give away, the marketing department gives away pens and keychains with every brochure that they send out. You don't do any of that, but there's still a way and a great reason for you to make that connection.
Yes. And what's really interesting about it is when you have this conversation, you just do some marketing research to start. All right. So all you're doing is you talk to your customers and you're just asking them, what else do they buy? What else? Or if you visit their office, have open eyes. You know, you have to consider yourself that you're a hunter gatherer and you're looking around and you're saying, where is there opportunity for me and my business? Where's their opportunity? And if you really want to be, altruistic about it too, where's the opportunity for me to help make my customer a better business?
Yeah.
You look, so you walk into an IT company that you do some apparel for. You do shirts like this, right? Because they go out to offices, they want to look nice. And you look around and you see a few guys prepping up for the day as you're making a delivery of shirts. And what do they have? They've got tablets and they've got laptops that they bring with them.
Yeah.
And this guy's got him in a brown backpack. That one's got a bunch of, just sewn on patches on his ugly backpack. That guy's backpack has a hole in it.
Yeah.
That guy's got a tablet that's all busted up.
Right, because that is part of their uniform. They just don't wear it.
Yeah,
so
and they don't
good.
think about that.
Right.
So you look at that and then now so this is a little bit of what else they buy. Their employees buy those bags.
Yes.
Right. So they might not provide them. So one, you could offer to the business, hey, if you want to supply your team with matching bags, I could do that. I also see that they have tablets. We can do tablet cases as well. I think it's a great idea. It'll help them look more professional. Your shirts are so nice. Everything else
you
should
want
be.
And
they also may say, I don't know if that's in the budget. I'm going to give you option 2.
Yeah.
If it's not within your budget to supply them, if you want, I can come up with some pricing. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to make the deal just as good of a deal as if they were to go to a sporting goods store and buy a new backpack.
Right.
Except it can have the company logo on it, and then you can offer for them to buy it on their own.
The employees can outfit themselves.
They can outfit themselves a little bit. And especially if it's a good deal and it's a good product, they're going to like that.
It's a good
So
idea.
go in and look for opportunity within of what they have.
Yeah.
And then just if you notice that they have pens, even if they don't outright say it, if you notice they have pens, if you don't do this,
Outsourcing.
outsource it.
Yeah, this is good.
You know, so find a place that sells custom pens. You know, there's a ton of places online.
Yep.
Find a place that has a good deal. You buy them from them, and you mark them
resell
up a
it.
little bit, and you resell it.
And so the strategy here is not for you. I mean, you might, but it's not for you to get rich on those outsourced items,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you're going to make a couple of points. You definitely should, or you shouldn't do it. But it's now you're getting farther into their business. You know, you're getting more of their business. So now they're thinking about you for shirts, and you gave them that free hat last year. So now they're ordering caps. They think about you for that. And now you printed T-shirts for the charity run that you ran with them. So now they think about you for shirts, uniforms, and hats. You've talked to them about the bags, and now you're talking to them about promotional products or signage or whatever other products that are even vaguely related to what you do, and you're adding a couple of points on it, but you're farther into their business. They get the luxury of having one person to call and talk to, and that's valuable. So
Yes.
now they're talking to you about ordering all this stuff. It just gives you more opportunities inside the business.
And,
with
and
those
you're
people.
the expert,
Yeah.
which is great, is that you're the expert on everything that's custom.
Yep.
I know that you just have an embroidery machine, right?
Yep.
And that's what you do, mostly in-house. But since you're the expert, when they order screen printed T-shirts, you're wholesaling that for them.
Yeah.
When they order pens, you're
Yeah.
wholesaling that for them. And you can get an insight to your customers on what they order a lot of.
Yeah.
It can help you to pick the next technology you invest in. So if you're finding that you're getting a decent amount of medium run size T-shirt
Yeah.
orders, or you're just seeing that that's happening, even if you haven't started wholesaling,
Yeah.
you see the opportunity right away, like it's clear.
Yeah.
Then you say, well, I should probably get a digital printer and start printing some T-shirts
I mean,
because I'm noticing that.
At this time, you could actually just do the math, and this what gets me excited about this idea of learning about what else your customer orders. Is let's say you're just doing embroidery, but you realize they do 4 charity runs a year, and they themselves, buy 100 shirts every time. So that's 400 shirts. You'll find out what they pay for it. You can make maybe $10 a shirt. So you have that $4,000 almost in the bank,
Yeah.
ready to invest. If you know that they buy, something that will make you $300 a month in profit, that's a lease payment on an embroidery machine or a digital heat FX system or 4 cutters.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a great way to prepay for your equipment almost.
Yeah, it's really awesome, and when you have that opportunity, I love that where you have a customer that to order some T-shirts, you talk to them about that, and
Yeah.
then they say, I would order them from you if you did it.
Yeah.
What do you pay now? Yeah, I can match that price, no problem, whatever it is. And then you say, okay, when is the next time you're going to do that? Well, I do that every June.
Yeah.
I do it in June and in December. Every
Yeah.
6 months I do it. So you say, okay, it's March. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a trigger. I'm going to make an investment. I'm going to perfect some of this. I'm going to start pre-selling to some other people. I'm going to be ready to go. They've already kind of given me a verbal commitment. I trust this customer. I suspect it's going to happen. But if not, it's not just this customer that's going to order it, but you have lots of other people.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to expand your business. Get more money get more money for your business,
Yep.
make more money, increase your profits, increase that, but also just learn to be a better business person by seizing opportunities.
I like that.
So the next one we have is next order couponing.
Yes.
That's kind of what we wrote. Couponing, promotions, deals, etc.
Yeah. So there's a couple of times to do this, and Mark Vila is the e-commerce king. So if you ever have e-commerce questions,
Yeah.
he's the guy.
And you can, and just a side note
Yeah.
on that, if you want to email me,
or me, really.
yeah, or Mark,
you can talk to us. anytime.
and Vila at Coldesi.
Terry Smalley knows.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
on there right now.
Yeah, if you want to email, I've had a couple of people just call.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually fine. All right, if
Yeah.
I'm really busy, I won't respond right away.
Yes.
And I'll respond later. If I'm doing a podcast, I won't get it, but I will respond to you, and we're going to help you with this
Yeah,
stuff.
email me because I actually don't listen to my messages. So
Oh,
I don't want to be rude.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I listen to actually messages, but
Right.
somebody will tell me you called if you call reception.
So couponing.
All right,
So
couponing.
we're talking about a couple of different things. First of all, upselling current customers with couponing. The first thing somebody might say is, well, why should I send somebody a coupon that's already buying stuff from me?
Yes.
Right? So the first answer is you would rarely send them a coupon on something that they're already buying, except as a reward. So as a surprise, somebody reaches their 10,000th custom cap that they ordered from you this year, man, send them a coupon. Give them some kind of a gift or something like that in order to express your gratitude for their participation.
Yes,
in your
so
business.
that's just a wonderful gesture, is just sending out a deal. And we just ran a recent special on our Triton vinyl.
Yeah.
Right. So we launched a vinyl last year. We've had a ton of people buy it.
Yep, it's great.
We already offered it at a very competitive price. So
Yes.
it's already better priced than much of our competition for a product that's equivalent or actually the Triton's even nicer than, but we don't have to get into that. But we still put it on sale.
Yeah.
Why do we put it on sale? For one, we new customers, but this
Yeah.
isn't about new customers. It's also about saying we reach out to our current customers and say, hey, it's on sale. Do you need to bulk up?
Yes.
Do you need to, this is a way for us to say, we just bought a bunch of this vinyl. We got a good deal on it. We have 2 weeks that we can run a sale to help pass that on. People love that.
Yeah.
People love saving some money. They love seeing the opportunity to seize an opportunity and save some money.
Yep.
So you could do the same thing with your business. Like you mentioned, you could just reward a customer just by saying, hey, you've spent a lot with us. And we've done that with like reward points.
Right.
I
I also like, to coupon when you add new products. So for example, if we talked about the freebie and including a cap, or something like that. Well, when you add a new technology, a new product to your lineup, when you pick a new shirt for your limited selection or a new jacket, then maybe to introduce that product or to get people to buy in something they haven't before, with that free cap that you put in there, you might put a 10% off coupon for your first order.
Yep.
To take the sting of that first commitment out while somebody tries out a larger order.
Yes.
So that's a great reason.
Absolutely. So you've got the freebie plus a coupon.
Yes.
Which is great. And this could be e-commerce if you have the ability to do that, or it can just be an actual coupon that they would physically hand to you.
Yep.
Or it could just be a verbal coupon. So mention free hat promo.
Yes.
And that will remind me that you received this and that you're going to get 10% off your cap order.
Yeah, just make sure there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some kind of a reason for you to do the promotion. You don't want to have somebody, buy a shirt and then give them a coupon for another shirt of the same kind.
Yeah.
That's not a great strategy for upselling. The great strategy for upselling would be, here's your shirt. Isn't this cap beautiful? Here's 10% off if you wanted to order a cap next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's adding a product.
And it also sometimes sometimes it's offering a deal because it's the new product.
Yes, I like that.
So brand new apparel styles available now at your t-shirt shop. Here are the various ones. Order before winter is over.
Yeah.
Receive a 10% discount.
I like that.
So with that, we can talk about a little bit of that time and inventory, which is another good reason.
Yeah, so these are two things that most people don't think about when they think about couponing. So the first one is kind of inventory management. So if you look in your warehouse or if you look in your dining room where you keep your stacks of blanks, and you've got a lot of inventory on a product, it's a great way to turn that into cash.
Yep.
One thing I'll say is that your inventory, your stockpiles, anything you have left over, it's not like stuff that you own personally that you can just put in a closet and then come back in 10 years and it will still have the same value to you. Okay, there's an expiration date on everything. On the style of a t-shirt, different technologies come out. Maybe you've gotten a bunch of bags in that are currently kind of in favor, but you haven't been able to sell a lot. In 5 years and 10 years, when you go back and open up that box and see what it is, it's not going to be worth anything, right? So it's important to keep your inventory turning. So if you've got inventory on a product that you're phasing out, or you've just got too much right now, it's been 90 days, then turn that into cash by offering people a discount through a coupon.
Yeah, and another, something that you can do that's interesting with that inventory is, for one, is just if the unfortunate one would be you ordered 40 caps and then something drastic happened to the customer.
Right.
But they left a deposit, right? So you kind of own the caps now.
Yeah.
Now you could try to return the caps to the supplier. That may or may not work out. If it does work out, great. But you could also say, well, now I've got 40 caps. I've got the customer left me a deposit, but they bailed, and I told them I had to pay for the caps, etc. But now you've got these caps, so you can actually afford to heavily discount.
Yeah.
So what you do is, you send out a notification via email, or you call up some of your best customers, say, hey, somebody else's loss can be your win.
Yes.
I've got an opportunity to do caps at 20% off. This is the style I have available. So there's those large things. Those things happen within our industry. They happen everywhere. The other thing is just if you're ordering some caps, I'll tell you a thing that a brick paver company does, which I think is pretty interesting. So they're always moving different types of pavers, right? Bricks. There are thousands of colors, styles, shapes, right? I mean, it's like it's not quite as bad as apparel, but there's tons.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do is when they order for somebody, they always order some extra for some small jobs, because the small job is a challenge.
Yeah.
Right? And the same thing with apparel. If you have somebody who wants to do 3 caps, well, all right, I got to order 3 caps from the supplier. It's going to cost me $13 just to ship it.
Yeah, or that big order is going to come back and want to add 3 more.
Or they're going to add 3 more. Then I got to order 3. I got to wait for it to ship. It's an extra day. So what you do is when you place an order for 40 caps, you actually order 44 caps or 48 caps, right? And now you've done it. Maybe you messed up on a couple of them. Or your customer called back and wanted 2 more, but you've got 3 caps left.
Yep.
You have the opportunity to sell these as one-offs. This could be for tote bags, caps, whatever it is. Those are easier because they're universal sizes compared to small t-shirts. But now you can send out a notification with a coupon to your customers for one-off. A one-off bag, say like a little laptop bag, you might do for $59 for a custom designed one. Well, now you've got one in stock, ready to go. You've got 2 in stock. You can send out 2 left in stock, discounted, regular, $49.99, on sale, $39.99. Put whatever logo you want on it.
Yeah.
And then and then you sell both.
Yeah.
And then when they're gone, a customer, I saw that sold out. Look out for the next time. So you create some scarcity too.
Yeah. Or
and that's great.
How many of those bags do you usually buy?
Yeah.
And now you've got another opportunity.
Yeah.
So inventory management is a good reason to do couponing.
And then time management.
Right.
Okay, so time is the next. May might be slower for you, and then June you are slammed. So you're starving for business in May, and in June you're almost turning away business.
Right.
So what do? You contact your customers that normally order in June, and you offer them a discount, promo, coupon. If you order before May 15th, I'll give you 10% off your order.
That's a very relaxing thought, because I know that we get calls from customers all the time. I'm in the middle of a huge order. I just ran out of ink. I've got 10 orders behind it. Or I'm delayed because I couldn't get this accomplished. All my orders come in February for Valentine's Day, and then I get nothing for 4 months.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of businesses like that. And if that's your pattern, then it's a very relaxing thought to be able to take maybe even 20% of that and put them in the month before.
Yeah, and it's the thought would be the initial thought. Because there's a micro thought when it comes to marketing, and then there's this larger macro idea behind it. So the initial thought is, well, if my customer is going to order in June, definitely.
Yes.
Why would I take less money for them to order it now? I'm losing money. Yeah. Well, what also happens in June is, because you get an influx for your business, whatever the reason it might be. You do resort wear, so they start to beef up when the summer comes.
Yeah.
Okay. But what happens is you're also not selling in June because you're busy creating apparel.
Right.
You're also maybe possibly turning away business, not directly, but indirectly, because they ask you when the turn time is, and you say, I can't deliver till July 1st.
Right.
So you're getting business that's turned away. So you're losing opportunity during
I
that
like
busy
that.
season. So what you do is you take the 10% reduction now on the guaranteed business. They're happy they got a deal.
Yeah.
You've now freed up, let's just say that's a 12-hour order.
You could
freed up 12 hours.
You could end up being the only person in town that could fill that order in 2 days.
Yes.
Because you couponed it the month before, all your regular customers are taken care of, and now you're getting new customers because you did that.
Yeah, and on top of that, your customer's really going to be happy that June has come. It's time for them to restock their resort, whatever it is. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. I can't believe, like that. She called me up. She let me know ahead of time. She gave me a deal. It's done early.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, and then the review comes behind it. Let me tell you why you should do business, with Mary's Shop.
Yeah, and how excited are they going to be to do something with you again?
Yeah. I mean, she's going to remind you. If you order early, she gives you a deal.
I always like Mary. She does all
awesome.
kinds of stuff for us. It's great.
She's great.
Okay.
Well, I think we've covered all the topics.
Yes.
We're kind of nearing our end of our time. So
Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, so the last thing I'll say is that we really appreciate you guys participating with us and watching and listening to the podcast. I hope you've noticed the new website, customapparelstartups.com. You can go listen to all of our 67 prior episodes if you want to. There's really, there's 65, 66 hours of content on there. Just about marketing small business and specifically custom apparel. So if you have the opportunity to check it out, please do. We're getting better at searches and putting keywords in there so it's easier to find what you're looking for. I also want to point out for everybody that came in late that we are broadcasting from our Dale Mabry campus of Coldesi. The samples that you see behind us are of the Digital Heat FX line of products. They're from the Spangle Elite. They're from the brush and bake cutter base system. They're from the cut and press cutter base system. All available through Coleman and Company, part of the Coldesi group.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we will be doing our podcast is going to be live consistently on an upcoming basis. I think we finally narrowed down our audio and video to the right zone.
Yeah.
And so now is a time if there are folks who have some questions or want to comment right now, you can. So we're going to be we're monitoring on
we'll
on
hang
Facebook.
out for a little bit.
But more so, what we would like to do is when we announce what our episodes are going to be, and we're going to be doing them live, that you might come prepared next time or show up.
Yeah.
So if you're just listening to a recording of this, stay tuned. Via email and social media, and
subscribe to us on
podcasts.
YouTube so you get the notifications.
Yeah. So and then look out for your notifications on YouTube and on Facebook. This way you'll see when we're live, and we'll have a consistent time, and we'll get better at helping you guys with this. So during the show, if you have a question, you can go ahead and just ask. You'll know what the topic is, and maybe you can think about it ahead of time. So we're going to really try to take this to the next level for you. So it's not just about listening to the podcast, but it's about participating and helping us create questions, answers, events, and being a part of the podcast with us, because that's what's really going to make it better, I think.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, thanks everyone. This has been Mark Stevenson from Coldesi.
And Mark Vila from Coleman and Company.
You guys have a good business.
Great, thanks. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to log off right now of our live feed. As the feed continues, if you watch this video later, I want you to feel free to contact us. Go to customapparelstartups.com. You'll see the link in the notes, in the comments, I should say, below. If you have some questions and you want to ping us with some questions about this episode or others, and then make sure that when you are looking at the feed and you're looking at our page, that you make sure that you have our page followed.
Yep.
That you make sure you have notifications on for this page, because if you've bumped into the middle of this or you're watching this later and you wish you would have seen it live, that's how Facebook is going to do it, and YouTube as well. It's not just because we go live you will automatically get the notification.
You have to tell us you like that.
So you might get it.
Yeah.
But to guarantee you get it, you have to click on that.
Yeah.
So that's your homework right now, is to do that.
Please do. And also, if you hated watching us do this, which I'm sure you're out there.
And watch it next time. It'll be better.
No, you are welcome to listen to us now on. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. really wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find the Custom
Yeah,
Apparel
and we'll
Startups
be on
podcast.
YouTube. If you
Yeah,
don't prefer
YouTube.
Facebook for watching live streams, we'll be on YouTube. Everyone's
Yeah.
got their preference. And then the videos will be available later as well. So if you can't listen live because it's during busy time of the day for
Yeah.
you, you can watch it at 1 o'clock in the morning on your smartphone.
Yes.
I mean, that's when I would watch it.
I know you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.